Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Raw Knuckles Podcast. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Being in Calgary, just small town feel, and having the seasons you did. What was it like away from the rink in that town? Was it, everybody know who Sean Monahan was?
Did you go to the Stampede is what he's trying to ask.
I went to the Stampede a couple times. A bunch of the guys would go, but it's a small town feel there. I think, like you said, the fans are knowledgeable. I mean, I'm a Canadian kid. I've only played in the Canadian market, so I think that's pretty special. But everybody knows who you are. If you go to the grocery store, you're taking pictures for sure. If you go to a restaurant, you're taking pictures. I think the fans were great there and treated me with a lot of respect. So I think I love those fans, and it's a great place to play hockey.
When I stepped on the ice, I never backed down, and I never stayed down.
And I was vicious, and I was malicious, and I don't care.
He's a freaking madman. Look at him going to town. That'll be a suspension.
Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate taking the time. And listen, the Habs, you being here as a Hab. And I look back, your first round pick, 6 overall, 18-year-old kid going into the NHL. You score 6 goals in 9 games. You come up. Here you are in Montreal now, and you see Slafkovsky, teammate, 18-year-old kid coming into the league. What goes through your mind? Did you think back to your time? And 1, and 2, what advice do you have for a kid like that? Because you went through it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you see it. I mean, there's so many young guys in the league now. And I think when I first came in, my mindset was kind of do whatever I can to stay. I mean, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, if I was going to play the 9 games and go back to junior or what it was. So, I mean, I talked to Slav a lot, and I mean, I think he's playing great hockey right now. I mean, I think he's really stepped it up. He's confident with the puck. He's using his body, and it's a tough adjustment. I mean, you come in and you want to be the guy, and that's not always the case right away. So I think takes some time to adjust, and I mean, a guy like Slap, I think he's starting to feel it.
Yeah, he certainly looks like it. Last year he struggled in this town. You're under a microscope, like in most Canadian cities, and I'm sure you were in Calgary to some extent. But coming out of the gate like you did, getting that start, kept you there. What?
Who were you playing? Who'd you play with when you came in? And you had to be like, were you thinking like, I'm going to break Gretzky's record?
Yeah. No, honestly, I was playing with a lot of different guys. I mean, the roster is changing quite a bit. I think I started at 18 with Lee Stepniak and Sven Barchi. And guys were getting moved around all over the place. So I think, I didn't really have a consistent line my first year. It changed quite a bit, but I just tried to do whatever I could to obviously stay up there.
Yeah, and that was a big draft. You had McKinnon, right? Drouin, Seth Jones, I think. Quite a few really good players. You go back to that draft. Was in New Jersey. Did you go to the draft?
Yeah, I was at the draft.
Now, like, playing junior and stuff in Ottawa, like when you before the draft, did you think I have a pretty good idea where I'm going to go? Was that kind of a shock at 6, or did you think you were going to go later? Or
no, I mean, I was, to be honest, I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to go or when. I thought potentially 5 at Carolina, and I mean, once Carolina didn't pick me, I had a real good idea that I was going to be going to Calgary. I was visit them and talk to them quite a bit. So, I mean, I had a good feeling about that, and yeah, I was super excited when they picked me then.
Did they have the combine back then, 2013?
Yeah, I had the combine. Yeah.
What was that like? Because again, I got drafted in 78, right? I got a letter from the Canadians 2 weeks after the draft inviting me to training camp.
Yeah, he brought his golf clubs. That's what he brought.
But
Yeah.
what was the combine like for you? Like what?
Yeah, no, it was a little bit. I was a little nervous going into it, but I mean, yeah, a lot of interviews. You meet with a lot of teams and ask you some crazy questions, and yeah, then you got the workout part of it, which is obviously not too easy, but yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's all part of the process, and I mean, kind of one step closer to getting to the NHL.
What was the weirdest question you got, if you can remember?
Honestly, I don't really remember. I remember one team going on Facebook, I think it was, and looking through that. But other than that, I mean, there was a lot of different questions.
Fuck, that'll get you fired today, right?
Yeah.
You're in trouble. So you go to Calgary, you go 6, and you go to Calgary. Who was the first coach? Your first coach in Calgary?
Bob Hartley.
Bob Hartley. Oh,
Yeah.
Bob Hartley. Now, I saw Hartley, one of his first seasons coaching was in the American League with Hershey. And I watched their training camp in Hershey. And those guys, he bag skated those guys. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the American Hockey League, it wasn't even that bad when I was there. But I couldn't believe it. How was he, you being a first-year player, what'd you learn from Bob Hartley?
Honestly, I learned a lot. He helped me out tremendously. I got a lot of respect for him, and I mean, he was hard on me. I mean, he was hard on everybody, and I mean, I remember my first development camp going there after getting drafted. After day one, thought I would never be able to play in the league. I couldn't walk after. It was tough, but he would push you, and I mean, I think making it hard like that and really earning ice time and earning things really helped me out, obviously, throughout my career.
No, I was thinking the 6 goals in 9 games under Bob Hartley. That's like pretty impressive because I've heard horror stories about that guy. But
yeah, no, we skated a lot. I mean, we did a lot of mountains and different types of, I guess, kind of bag skates. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think looking back, that it's something I kind of appreciate to this day.
So he had some awesome seasons, obviously, in Calgary and playing at Canadian City. A lot different than playing at U.S. City. Having done both, the media scrutiny and just the fans, certainly the intelligence of the fans, and they know the game a lot better. Being in Calgary, just small town feel, and having the seasons you did. What was it like away from the rink in that town? Was it, everybody know who Sean Monahan was?
Did you go to the Stampede is what he's trying to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I went to the Stampede a couple times. A bunch of the guys would go, but yeah, I mean, it's a small town feel there. I think, like you said, the fans are knowledgeable. I mean, I'm a Canadian kid. I've only played in the Canadian market, so I think that's pretty special. But everybody knows who you are. If you go to the grocery store, you're taking pictures for sure. If you go to a restaurant, you're taking pictures. I think the fans were great there and treated me with a lot of respect. So I think I love those fans, and I mean, it's a great place to play hockey.
So you go with Hartley. Who was the second coach you had after Hartley?
Gulletson, right? Glenn Gulletson?
I think Glenn Gulletson. Yeah, I think he was the second coach.
Then the other guy, what was his name, Tim?
Then we had Bill Peters.
Archie Bunker.
Bill Peters, Bill Peters. Yeah. But I want to get to, again, you had great seasons here, 62 points, 63 points, 58 points, 64, 82 points. And I got to tell you now, I was a big fan of yours. Living here in Montreal, I was working the radio, and certainly in Canada, you get the highlights so much more than you do down in the States. Yeah. And you see so much more. And when I saw you in Calgary and what you were doing there, I just loved the way you played the game because it reminded me of guys from my era. You could be a throwback. You could play in that era. There's no question about it. But those seasons there, and then Sudsy comes in. And listen, I loved this guy when he was in LA. I loved when I played against him. He's the one Sutter brother I actually liked. But, you know, he gets a bad rap, I think, in a lot of ways because he's so demanding. What was that like for you? You have them great seasons. He comes in, and how did, I guess, the mindset of the team change when he was there? And was he hard on you guys? What was it like playing for him?
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, honestly, every coach I've had a lot of respect for. So I think everyone kind of approaches the game differently, and I guess their motivation to get guys going and stuff's different. But I thought he was good for us. I mean, we had a good season. I was hurt, wasn't obviously my regular self, but yeah, I mean, I thought he helped our team out. We had a great year. Could have went deeper in the playoffs, and yeah.
Is he as funny with the guys as he is with the media?
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I mean, he's got a good sense of humor. I mean, once you get to know him, he really cares about people. So I think that's the biggest thing.
What was different between him and Hartley? Them both being like old school, or were they kind of the same? Besides maybe their accent.
No, I think they're different. I mean, I think honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, practices with Bob were tough. I mean, as a young guy, for sure, you're out there for a long time and whatnot. But I think Daryl had a great sense of like the team and when you needed rest and stuff like that. So I mean, he respected the guys, and I mean, I thought he did a great job for the team.
So 2021, that season you played 50 games. When did you hurt your hip? Was that the season you hurt your hip?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even know. I try and not think about it, but I think I was playing with a sore hip for a long time, and finally got to a point where, I mean, I couldn't really skate or do much or even walk properly. So I think I got it fixed, and once I got it fixed, I came back, I think, way too early. That's on me, but yeah, I came back too early, and then my other hip started to go too. So I mean, I think that's in the past now, and it's nice to be feeling good again.
Yeah, well, it certainly shows in your play. So that last year, I want to get to in Calgary. So you had the injuries. Was it no contract on the horizon? What was the deal? How did it end in Calgary, and why? Was it because of the injuries?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure. I mean, Johnny left, Kachuk got traded, and I mean, I had 1 year left of my deal coming off hip surgery, and I got a call and said that I was going to Montreal. So I mean, the rest was history.
So you come here to Montreal. Were you excited coming to Montreal? Obviously, guys say they love to play here. Almost every guy we've had on, favorite rink in the NHL is coming to Montreal. But now you're coming to play here. What was it like for you being in Calgary all them years and then coming here?
Yeah, I mean, it was different for sure. I mean, I was really excited to come here. I got traded, came down with my wife to check out some places to live and whatnot, and had a good feel. So I think coming into camp that year, I was super excited, getting to know everybody. It was obviously a much younger team than I was a part of, so it a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. And I mean, yeah, you're right. It's my favorite rink to play in the league, and I mean, you just can't take it for granted.
So you're coming into a situation, obviously this team had struggled for years. They're trying to rebuild, new management team, new coach. Were you excited to be part of that when you came here? I mean, it's not easy. Been in the league for quite a few years, had success, been with some good hockey teams, and now you're going to be part of a rebuild. How did that change your mindset at all coming here, like being part of that rebuild?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, I was just excited to get to know everybody, and I mean, I was hurt. I wasn't playing good hockey for 2 years, and I was trying to get myself back too. So I think coming here, I was, like I said, super excited and trying to establish myself. And I mean, I love playing here. I love the coaches. I love obviously all my teammates, and I think being a part of what we're going through is something I really enjoy, and I think we're on the cusp of breaking out here.
Yeah, it seems like you are. Like last year, all the injuries. Again, you were hurt last year. You know, the foot was it, and then you played that game in Calgary, and it kind of put you in a deeper hole. But you're back now. You're having a great season so far, and great in the face-off circle, being around these young kids. But injuries again, Kirby Doc out, Dvorak out. It just seems like one after another. How difficult has that been in a situation where, yeah, you're hovering right around 500 all year? And how difficult is that for you, having been on winning teams and teams that are up there in the standings?
Yeah, no, it's tough, and I mean, majority of the nights, I think you come in and we give ourselves a chance to win. So I think that's the biggest thing, and I mean, there's no quit in the group, but. Yeah, I mean, you go through a season. We've had, I mean, a lot of guys injured again this year too, which I mean, it sucks anytime a guy gets out of the lineup. But I think there's a lot of guys hungry that I mean have an opportunity to take some more ice time and I guess help the team out. So I mean, I think being a part of this team is something that's pretty special.
What's it like playing for St. Louis? Everyone's raved about him and said only amazing things. And obviously, with his experience, it's got to be pretty awesome. But compared to the other coaches, yeah, what's it like to play for Marty?
Yeah, no, he's great. I mean, a lot of respect for him, and I mean, I think I played almost against the whole coaching staff. So I mean, it's a different. It's a different feel for me for sure. You can relate, and I think the coaches relate to us a lot with being in the league not too long ago. But yeah, I mean, a lot of energy, a lot of positivity, and I mean, really makes it a lot of fun to be coming to the rink every day.
Yeah, it's funny. I find it this town, boy, the media can really sometimes be difficult on the team. And actually looking at the way this team through the transition, they've got it. I think they've given this group in Marty St. Louis and Jeff and Ken Hughes, they've been pretty patient with them. And I think the fan base has too, when you consider this town, the years and the number of Stanley Cups and the expectations. Do you feel that pressure at all from the outside, whether it be the fan base or the media, that, hey, we at some point here, enough's enough. We got to start to win. Do you ever feel that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that pressure every day. I mean, I don't feel it from other people. I think, I mean, as a competitor, as an athlete, you want to win. So I mean, you bring that to the rink every day, and I think our group wants to win. I think we're building and we're heading in the right direction. I think that's a real good sign.
How's your French? You speak any French?
I'm still working on it. Starting to understand a little bit more though.
Yeah. So Dvorak gets hurt. You're probably seeing a lot more time in the face-off dot, but you're up at 57.4%, which is huge. Do you like just relish that role? Because honestly, when I played and I played on a checking line, I had a role. I loved, and not that that's your only role, but that's a big part of the game today. Certainly control, starting with the puck. But is that you happy with that role?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I take a lot of pride in the circle, and I think it's something I kind of study and, I mean, nitpick. So I think it's a huge part of the game. I mean, you win the face-off, you have the puck, and I think it goes a long way. So, yeah, it's definitely something that I take a lot of pride in.
Do you use quickness or strength more? Which you think would be like your strong point in the face-off circle? Quickness or strength?
I think it's a mix of both. I mean, I think it depends if it's a righty or a lefty, where they're trying to win it, and I mean how they're holding their stick, all different kinds of things, and then obviously a lot of timing with when the puck's coming down, and I guess where their stick is too. So I mean, I try and do a bunch of different things, but yeah, I mean, more so for me, it's just the timing of the puck.
I was pure quickness, Nugs.
Yeah.
You put
I'm
any
sure,
little
Tim.
you put any little strength on me, I lost it. I lost the draw. Now, has the rules changed much since your first year in the league and today?
Oh yeah, I mean, my first year in the league, I mean, guys would cheat like crazy, and
yeah.
I mean, I remember I took a lot of faceoffs against Thornton, and I mean, you wouldn't even have a chance. But yeah, I mean, linesmen kick you out now quite a bit, and it's a lot of times, I mean, it could just be the winger or whatever with his foot over the line or something. But yeah, I mean, guys used to use their feet too a lot in the faceoff circle, which they're trying to, I think, avoid now. They kick guys out, but yeah, I mean, since I started, it's I mean, faceoffs have changed big time.
So, a question I wanted to ask you: you signed that contract in the off season, and certainly it's a pay cut from what you were getting paid. But the first time you get the opportunity to go out and test those free agent waters, and you end up signing a 1-year deal here, did that have to do mostly with you being injured and maybe not having the best opportunity at being a free agent and going out there and really signing a deal? Or did it have to do with you love the situation here so much you just wanted to play here?
Yeah, no,
Or was it both?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think I owed it to myself. I mean, I played 25 games last year, and I mean, not too many home games, and they wanted me back. We had mutual interest in that, and I mean, I knew the situation here, the coaching staff. But yeah, I think I owed it to myself to play at the Bell Center, and I mean, really live it. So I mean, I really enjoyed my time the fall or the year before, and I wanted to give myself that a chance to come back and try and be better.
So your name obviously been brought up a few times. I've seen it and heard it, and the possibility you get traded. Does that play on your mindset? Sometimes you're out here, trying to do your best for this organization, and there's all this trade talk, the possibility. You're 29. You're going to be an unrestricted free agent again at the end of the season. Does that play on your mind at all? Possibility of being traded from you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's out there, and you think about it a little bit. But to be honest, I don't really have any social media or anything, and don't really see anything, to be honest. So, I mean, I just kind of live my day-to-day life, and I mean, come to the rink and just be myself. So, I mean, it doesn't really stress me out. I mean, love playing in Montreal. So, I mean, I guess time will tell.
So you grew up in Brampton, Ontario. You grew up, were you a Leaf fan, a Calgary fan, a Habs fan? What was your favorite team?
Yeah, I mean, normally I only got the Leaf games on my TV, so that
Marley's fan. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. The only games I'd usually watch would be like the Leaf games because that's what we got. But my favorite team for some reason was Colorado growing up. I love Joe Sakic, and I mean, love Steve Yzerman too. Had a lot of posters of them in my room. But yeah, Leafs were, I guess, kind of the only hockey I would usually watch for NHL wise.
So you're growing up in Brampton. Was Dad a hockey player? Did the family play? How'd you get into hockey as a kid?
Yeah, no, basically my whole family played hockey. I had cousins who played pro in Germany and stuff like that. My dad played and then went to college and shut her down after that. But hockey is kind of...
Where did he go to college? Did he play at college, your dad?
Yeah, just in Brampton, though.
Yeah.
And, yeah, after that, he shut it down. I mean, he likes to think he was still better than me, but he's been a huge influence on me, to be honest. In junior, I don't think he missed a game, and I mean, I played far away, so he's a huge supporter, and I mean, so is my whole family.
So
It says you played lacrosse. Like you,
Oh,
those two sports, they transition to each other pretty good, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
know one other lacrosse guy was Robbie Shrimp, and he was like,
Oh yeah.
he was like a magician out there.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually was just going to play lacrosse. I was on the verge of going to try and go to like college for lacrosse, and I got drafted to the OHL. To be honest, I didn't really know what it was all about, and I went to the camp. I made the team, and kind of the rest was history. I had to give up lacrosse then.
That's
so
nuts. That
yeah,
is. It's like, do you ever think like, oh, I wish what would have happened if I played? You probably don't even think about it anymore. Huh?
Yeah, honestly, I do still sometimes.
Really?
I got a lot of buddies who I played with who play in the NLL still now, and yeah, I mean, it's a great sport. It's so fun to play and watch, and I mean, I still keep up with it till this day.
So you look back, 18-year-old kid coming to the league. You're 29 now. What is something that you have not achieved yet in this league or as a player that you want to before you have to hang up the skates?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Nux. What's that like?
How about like the Olympics? You have any aspiration of playing the Olympics, or is that a possibility at some point if the league
I mean,
allows
if
it?
possibility. I think still number one on my list would to win a Stanley Cup and lift that up.
What'd you say, Tim?
No, I said I can't relate to that. I didn't even play a fucking playoff game. So I was just saying maybe.
Tim, your favorite line was you got to shower with the Leafs a couple
I
times.
got to shower with the boys, and I was surrounded by losers my whole career. That's why I never.
Now, next year, just say you don't get traded.
Yeah.
Are you going to test the waters as far as free agency next year?
I mean,
Either way.
I have no idea. I mean, I love playing here in Montreal. Like I said, I love the whole organization from top down and my teammates, and it's a tight group. I mean, it's young, it's a lot of energy, and like I said, I think we're on the rise here and we're heading in a good direction. So I mean, it would be great to be a part of that.
So you love Montreal. What do you love about it? Let's say away from the rink.
Yeah, I mean, I think just for me, it's being closer to home too, for sure. I mean, I was a 4.5 hour flight away from home, and obviously with the time change for 10 years, it's different. I mean, here there's a lot of history in the city. It's, I mean, great restaurants, fans are passionate, a lot of different things to do, and yeah, I mean, I really enjoy my time here.
No, yeah, you haven't had them over for dinner yet?
No. It's funny, you know, people don't realize you played in Calgary here, Canadian cities as opposed to American cities. Because when I left here, I went to New York. And every day I walked in the building, the same scalper asked me if I wanted to buy tickets to the game in New York. In New York, I mean, they have all the other sports, but they didn't, like hockey wasn't that big. I mean, it was for Ranger fans, but a lot of people just didn't have a clue who the hockey players were. And that's not the way. How about here in this city, when you walk around, everybody knows who you are, right?
Yeah, it's people recognize you, but I mean, I think as you get older too, guys, they care more about the younger guys, you know, and I mean, they respect you. They'll say hi, ask you for a picture or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think the fans here are amazing. It's super passionate. Like I said, playing in the Bell Center is so much fun, and yeah, you kind of feel that energy when you're just going through the city and people are talking to you, and obviously at games.
And Calgary was like a smaller, like it was more even crazy. Like Winnipeg, when I was there, was nuts. Like you think, it was like Calgary was just like not as. I mean, Montreal's not as crazy as Calgary though, right? Because it's just bigger.
Yeah, I mean, Calgary. I mean, you get recognized everywhere, and I think the fans there, I think, are super knowledgeable too. So it's just, I guess, a different feel. I mean, two different sizes of cities and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, both places are amazing places to play.
So you talked about your dad and his influence on you. What I got to ask you, because I'm jealous, the dad's trip. You must have been on a few now. How cool are those to be able to have your dad going? Did they do a mom's trip ever when in Calgary or here with you?
Yeah, we did. We had a mom's trip actually last year with Montreal too, and we did one with Calgary. I think my dad's been on 5 or 6 dad's trips now, and I mean they're always so much fun. I think you get to see your day-to-day life, and obviously experience what you go through, and be there for games and get to different rinks and stuff like that. So I mean, it's I think they're ones that you never forget.
We never had that, Nux. My dad doesn't even believe I played in the NHL. No, it sounds awesome. It sounds, yeah, go ahead.
It's funny. My dad, he was traveling at the time. We were playing in LA. He was in California. He ended up going out with all the boys. I'll never forget it. It was like, he was so freaking happy because, he became a huge fan of the Habs, growing up Bruins fan. And then being able to be on the road and, like you said, see what the guys go through. Like, it was so cool.
Who had it? Did your dad have it first, or your mom have it? Whose trip was first?
My dad's trip was first. That was when I was 18. That was his first dad's trip.
So was your mom like jealous? Did she want like we?
What about the mums?
Yeah. My mom was actually living with me at the time, so she was. I think she was happy for both of us to get out of the house.
Yeah, that's funny though, because it was all dad's trips, right? Probably up until a couple of years ago, right? Wasn't it always a dad's trip? Wonder who the first team was that did the mom's trip, because
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. So this season, teammates, Cole Caulfield, we had him on here, big smile, happy. And
I'm taller than him. I tower over that fucking guy.
How is he as a teammate? Is he like that every day, coming in the room, big smiley face?
He's like that every second. I think he's a huge part of the team, and his presence every day. I mean, so much energy. It's contagious. Great person, and obviously great player. So to have him around every day is really awesome.
Who's the fun? Yeah, we've had like basically the whole team on, and everyone. I mean, the locker room's got to be awesome, and we've gotten a lot of Weidman votes on who's the funniest guy. What's your take on who's the funniest guy? I think you got votes too, though, but you can't vote for yourself.
Yeah,
so.
No, there's a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of funny guys. David Savard's, I think, hilarious too. Cole's nonstop talking, energy, smiling, jumping around. Yeah, I would probably have to say Savvy, the funniest guy.
Yeah. Well, how about I remember when you first came here, coming in the locker room, and I guess I'm asking you to grade them. How does the locker room here, when you come in, how does it compare to the one in Calgary? Pretty similar, or, with all the history that you see around the room and stuff?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of history in both rooms. I mean, they're different facilities for sure. I mean, Montreal has a lot more to offer, I think, in the dressing room and whatnot. But I think when you look at it in the hockey perspective, there's a lot of history, a lot of names, and a lot of records that you get to see every day. So I mean, it's both are special when you're reading the walls and looking at pictures around the room.
Pictures of Nyland up there.
Yeah. I don't think
only
so.
won one cup though, so it's not really that impressive in that town.
So you're pretty close with Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah.
That relationship in Calgary. Were you surprised? I think a lot of people were surprised, but were you surprised when he ended up going to Columbus?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what he was going to do. I mean, I was talking to a lot, and I don't think he even knew exactly what his plan was. But I mean, he picked what was, I think, the best situation for him and his family, and yeah, he went from there.
Were you surprised just when he first started? Like I played with him in World Championships, and he came just right from college to World Championships, and I was like, I don't know if this guy is going to play. Like, he's small.
Yeah.
Like, were you surprised how good he was for how big he was and all that?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really know anything about him, and it was my first season. It was the last game of the season in Vancouver, and his college season just ended, and they flew him and Bill Arnold into Vancouver and for him to play his first game. And when he showed up, I could not believe it. And I mean, I think it was his early in the game. He scored his first goal of the year, first game, and yeah, and kind of after that, the rest was history.
No, that's 100%. That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm small, but I was like, I don't know about this. And then he got on the ice. I was like, all right, this guy's like a wizard out here.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He is a wizard. Hey, listen, Sean, I want to thank you for your time. And whatever happens here the rest of the way, I want to wish you good luck with whatever the future holds for you. And I certainly would love to see you be able to, stay with this organization, but with free agency, you just never know. So I want to wish you well going forward and have a good rest of the season. All right,
I
pal?
really appreciate it.
Thanks,
All
Sean.
right.
Yep, thanks.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Raw Knuckles podcast. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.